Electricast.
It's three-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson. I want to introduce you to my new show, All Facts, No Breaks. I'll be giving you the real reactions to the latest sports news and inviting guests in the sports and entertainment world to break it all down. Tune in and make sure you listen and subscribe on Spotify.
Welcome into MTP. I'm Joe Malkin, joined by the real BK, Bob Kelly, and DK Sizzle, Dave Clarke. And we're here to give you our first NFL show of the fiscal year, if you will. And today we're gonna go through each division. We're gonna talk about the teams in those divisions, and tell you where we think they're gonna finish this year. The NFL season is coming up shortly. As we record this, they're about a week away from starting camp and about 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL preseason. So guys, let's just get it out of the way first, because I'm the only Patriots fan here. So let's just get the AFC East out of the way, and then we're going to go touch on Bobby's Cowboys and NFC East. Guys, the AFC East last year, Buffalo Bills win the division basically by a game over the Patriots. 11-6, 10-7 were the Patriots, 9-8 Dolphins, and the Jets were 4-13 at the bottom. How do we feel about this division this year, and where do you guys think these teams are going to finish? Because I think it's going to be pretty close to what it was last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bills are way better though. I think that this is going to be the breakout season for the Buffalo Bills, and I think this is going to be the season where they take over that division for the foreseeable. I feel like, you know, as we are a kind of a Boston sports flavored podcast, I do hear a little bit more about the Patriots than I quite fucking want to. But I don't know. They've had a really weird offseason. I feel like you guys have sort of been decrying the front offices of all Boston sports teams, sans the Boston.
They've been so fucking ridiculous.
Without
Celtics. Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
The kind of debate is sans Celtics, which front office is a fucking absolute nightmare. I always thought the Bruins had the worst one, but
they're pretty bad.
They are pretty bad. But, you know, now you have, and I'm sure you guys talked extensively on the Red Sox show about how the Red Sox front office is dealing with trying to keep their stars in house. But
they're not trying to. But
the Pats are just like, I don't know. You know, are the days of the Bill Belichick sixth round pick becoming like a potential all-pro wide receiver? Are they over? You know, Marcangelo, one of our other contributors, has been banging the drum of Bill Belichick's a subpar GM, if not the greatest coach of all time, for quite a while. And I just don't feel like you guys are making moves. I mean, I think the one positive thing I've heard is that Mac Jones looks really good. I think I've heard he looks really in shape and really fit, and he's going to take a leap. He probably was the best rookie QB last year. You know, because and credit to him if he can learn that fucking calculus scheme that you guys run over in New England. But I mean, to me, the Bills are a fucking no-brainer. I think the Bills are going to be the best team in the NFL next year. So, you know, spoiler alert. I know we started here with this division, but like, they have everything. I like, if you ask me right now who I would rather play to try to get a win, the Chiefs or the Bills, I'd rather play the Chiefs. You know, they're down Tyreek Hill, and they just don't look as invincible as they used to. And I think Josh Allen, another year in the league, I think he's the number one QB also. I mean, it's insane. I know that like the Buffalo Bills when we were kids growing up were a fucking joke, but I think they're going to win 15 games this year. And just on paper, unless something crazy happens, and I'm going to fantasy draft half their fucking team. So I don't know. I'm really high on the Bills, I guess.
Yeah, no, completely agree, DK. I mean, let's put it this way. If we weren't on a New England podcast, there wouldn't be much discussion about who's going to win this division. You know what I mean? That's how much better the Bills are, not only just about to the Patriots, but to the rest of the NFL. I completely agree with the addition of Von Miller. You know what I mean? They took a defense who was already top 5 in the NFL and added added a defensive player who just turned the tide on the defense of the Super Bowl champion. So it's pretty evident that they added more strength. They added, didn't they get, what wide receivers did they bring in too? They brought a Jarvis Landry. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. So they brought in Jarvis Landry. So obviously they just got better. And I think the Patriots got worse. I think the best thing about the Patriots offseason is that they traded N'Keal Harry. That's probably the most positive check mark, right? Would you agree?
To the fucking Bears.
Yeah, to the Bears. If that's
We'll get there.
That's kind of fun. It's like a little mini like hidden storyline for us that N'Keal Harry.
It'll play.
It's amazing. Yeah.
N'Keal comes back to New England this season.
But so it's
Wait, who did
the Bills
brought in, Bobby?
They have Jarvis Landry.
Tavon Austin.
Emmanuel Sanders, that was last year. Tavon Austin.
Tavon Austin? Yeah.
But I just think that they're so much better than the rest of that division, man. And the only team I think, listen, the Patriots have such a limited ceiling to basement window. I feel like their ceiling is like 10, but their basement is like 7. Whereas a team like the Dolphins, I feel like the Dolphins' ceiling is like 12. You know what I mean? If Hill takes the top off defenses, they do well.
Yeah.
But their basement's also like 5.
Well, they still have Tua.
Right. Well, that's true. But I'm just saying, like,
Tyreek Hill isn't going to be like. I just feel like we're never going to hear from him again because of that trade. To be honest,
it's possible.
A lot of guys go to Miami for their careers to die.
That is very true.
Did you see the Miami like PR team was like, check out the new like lethal link up between Tua and Tyreek Hill.
The worst fucking throw ever.
And they put a video of fucking Tua just like bombing a pass over Tyreek Hill.
Tell me who's worse there, Tua or the social media team that's putting that together.
No, they're all fired.
Yeah, they're gone.
But so I'm just if the Patriots to me, I feel like could be better than the Dolphins. Probably will be better than the Dolphins if you're asking me for an answer.
That's still going to be terrible. That's an upside.
But I feel like the Dolphins have a better chance of winning the division, if that makes any sense at all. They have a higher ceiling. Yeah, they have a higher ceiling to me because of those additions. Because they brought in Chase Edmonds too. There was a lot of moves in Miami this year.
But let's be honest, like the Bills are winning that division for sure.
Yeah,
but,
that's why I don't even know why.
But after that, I know we like to shit on the past, but after that, the Patriots have the next best chance still. They still have Bill Belichick. Like that's still 5 more wins than his roster deserves off the bat. You know what I mean?
Like being a hater.
Like they're gonna have to like the Patriots could very easily win double digit games this year, and like he will make that roster overperform. You know what I mean? Like what his real secret weapon is getting a guy that's a 5.5 and making him into a 7.5. You know, and I think that's good because there's a lot of 5.5s on the Patriots.
Yeah, 5.5 is kind of overrating a lot of these guys, right?
Yeah, and like listen, I mean, I'm not hating on the Pats like just to hate on them because like they were so good for so long. It's not, you know, I live in LA now. I don't have that same sort of bitterness, you know, and I've accepted my fate with the Chicago Bears, but I don't know, man. I just think that they don't seem as invincible as they used to be. And then we're even a little bit outside that, like, well, they might still make the fucking playoff or they might still make the fucking championship game because they're the Patriots. I just don't know if that's the case anymore, but fuck, I've been wrong in the past. I've been trying to write them off for the past like 7 years. So who knows?
Let me ask you this, Joe. Is this the least talented or the least high that you've been on a Patriots team coming into a season ever? Since the Brady Belichick start?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you know, every year you had Tom Brady after 2000. After 2004 when they won the 3rd Super Bowl, you were like, all right, we got a chance to go. We have a chance to win this. I think 2020 was a down year, but then, you know, they won 7-9 and we spun it, right? It was like, oh, they won 7-9 that roster.
They spun that 7-9 so fucking hard.
That because you're like, oh, they should have gone 3-13 and they went 7-9. It's like, yeah, all right. But you know, I'm with Mike lately, and he and I have had this conversation, and we debate a little bit because I think if Bill goes as GM, he should go as coach. I heard an interesting tidbit today, and it's not a rumor, but it could be a good idea, which I'll get to when I assess the division. But yeah, Dave, you're right. The Bills are. I think you're a little high with 15 wins, but 13-14, yeah. And I know that's only one less, but
you're still in 16-game season mode.
No, I'm with you. 15-2. I think that's more difficult to obtain than
But don't you think that on paper they're so ludicrously built for a regular season because of the depth that they have, because of the kind of
without doubt
that they have? Like, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think that, like, if the NFL the last few years has proven anything, like anything can happen in the playoffs. And like, I think there's a lot of talent depth in the NFL now, and there's a lot of people that can like go back and forth and do shit. But I mean, regular season, they're just like, they're built for it, man. Like, they remind me of like a souped up version of like a Peyton Manning Colts team, like just really, really built for it. Like, they have options. They have a lot of different looks they can go to. So like that game tape's going to be hard to like accrue until like the end of the season. Like, I really think, and also strength of schedule is like, it's not crazy, as obviously we've just talked about their division is weakening. So I don't know, man. Like, are there that many teams in the NFL? Forget their schedule even. Are there that many teams in the NFL that you think could come in and beat the Buffalo Bills in a game right now that you would put your hard-earned money on? Like the Chiefs?
No.
Rams? The Rams maybe? Probably. They are the champs.
The Rams and Bills are almost mirror images of each other.
Josh Allen's a shitload better than Matt Stafford playing.
Oh, without a doubt. They have very different quarterbacks. I think Sean McVay, not to go on a tangent about the Rams versus the Bills, but I think Sean McVay and Sean McDermott are very different coaches. But I think if you put the two teams next to each other, you can, and the way they built themselves over the last few years, there's a lot of similarities. When it comes to the Patriots, I think Bills sweep the Patriots this year. I think the Dolphins split, and I think even maybe the Jets split with the Patriots. I don't see it as a very high year for New England. I think the dumbest decision the Dolphins made was to fire Brian Flores. I think I don't think bringing in Mike McDaniel was necessarily a good move. I don't know how well that's going to go. And then sticking with Tua at quarterback, like, that's coming down from the top, because that's what that was part. I think that was part of the reason why Brian Flores was let go, was because he didn't want to stick with Tua. So I think the Dolphins are going to be around that 9-8 mark that they were.
I think the Jets. I think it was deeper than that and more complicated. And I think it was ego based in the front office. And I really am rooting against the Dolphins this year for that reason. I really want that firing to prove their incompetence, because I think that streak that he turned that team around last year, it was all him. I mean, that was very clearly coaching to me. And like, I don't know why nobody hired him except for, Mike Tomlin kind of doing him a fucking solid and putting him on like as the special teams coach or some bullshit, just so he has a job in like healthcare. Cool. Nice guy. But like, ludicrous that he's not a head coach right now. And I want nothing more than the Dolphins to win 0 games just to prove that like it was so fucking dumb to take the front office and the egos going in there over a provenly good head coach, like a solid defensive coach that you gave a fucking bum of a quarterback to and still went on a fucking streak of what?
They were fucking 0-8. They were 0-8 and finished almost 500. Are you kidding?
Yeah, fuck off, dude. You're firing a guy for that? Like, your franchise deserves earn.
Jason Garrett made a career out of that.
Yeah, but
that's a whole different.
But Brian Flores is clearly a good coach. Like you're not gonna argue that with me, right? Like, he's clearly a good coach. Clearly.
Well,
it's just like, what are you doing?
To the owner wanting to have more of a say in things, and it's Stephen Ross in South Beach. I mean, he's a sneaky bad owner. Because we know that
it's not that fucking sneaky. They've been clearly shitty for a really long time.
Not more, and the firing of Brian Flores exposed that. I mean, we know the Dan Snyder's and those owners of the world, but Stephen Ross is a not good owner. The Texans owner is not good, McNair. So, but anyway, I think the Jets are going to be the surprise, because I think everybody's going to go into the saying, yep, the Bills are going to dominate. The Patriots are going to
win 3 games instead of 2.
No, they won 4 last year, and I think they win 7 this year. I think they go 7-10. I think Robert Saleh has fortified that offense. He brought in AJ Brown, Zach Wilson's banging his mom's friends.
What good does it do them to win 7 games, though? You know what I mean?
But what good does it do for them to win 4? I mean,
they got a higher draft pick.
But see, the difference is that Robert Saleh wants to win, and I don't think the ownership group of the New York Jets necessarily wants to win. It's how I feel about John Henry crossing sports. John Henry doesn't care if they win, because it's still going to bring in his money. It's the same thing in New York.
I disagree. I mean, maybe for the Red Sox, but he definitely has been very good to
AJ Brown went to a different green team. He went to the Eagles.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's the wide receiver that went to the Jets?
They got Garrett Wilson in the draft.
No, they got somebody else.
They signed CJ Uzoma from Cincinnati and Tevin Coleman. I don't see any wide receivers here.
These are not.
Corey Davis. Different.
Corey Davis. Yeah, that was that. Was he? Was he? I don't know. Yeah, Corey Davis is good.
Not AJ Brown. Corey Davis. The other ex.
He went to a green team.
They both,
Same shade of green.
I mean, what?
Yeah, same shade.
Bobby, you're better off going to red team. So I think we all agree. Red and blue. Sorry, I meant to say blue because that was supposed to be my transition.
Your page. Yeah, I got you.
So we're going. From what I hear, we're going.
Bills unanimous.
Yeah, and Bills are going to win.
I don't know. I mean, if we're doing good, smart bets here for the listening audience, I don't think you're going to get a great price on the Buffalo Bills winning that division either. So fuck it, bet the Patriots.
Minus $1 billion. Minus $1 billion.
Sorry, I didn't go that route of who would you bet on. Let's go to the NFC East. Bobby, your Cowboys 12-5 last year, won the division. What are your thoughts on your Cowboys division this year?
I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry to where if the Cowboys play up to their potential, which
just roll the
I've
tape.
been saying for 30 years.
Just roll the tape from the last preview.
I mean,
I can't forget that. Craig just put in Bobby said last year or in 2020. I think it's really the same thing.
I'm so depressed. It's football season again. All my Celtic green endorphins just literally rushed out of my brain when I started talking about the Cowboys. Like, all right, they should win this goddamn division. If they don't win this division, it is an absolute, complete, and utter failure. And it's not even close. You know what I mean? Like, Dak should be gone. Everything should be gone if they don't win this goddamn division because they're so much more talented. Bro, I get the Eagles made some additions. I get it. They've done that before. The Cowboys are still better.
The Cowboys should sweep the division.
The Cowboys are still better. Right. They're so much better than this division. And if, like, listen, Dak, I don't even know where to start. It's just.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, at the end of the day.
Thank you for reeling me because I could
at the end of the day, this is the year. This is the $160 million year. You know, Dak Prescott has to win himself a couple fucking playoff games and make a run. He has to not be the center of any sort of will he, won't he bullshit throughout the season. He needs to win the games that he's supposed to win, and he needs to win that division. But it's on him now. You know, I mean, quite frankly, the leeway that he got with that contract up until this point was more than a lot of other quarterbacks in a lot of other franchises would have gotten. He has the tools. He has the athleticism. He has the players around him to do it. On paper, I see no reason why he shouldn't be able to win a few playoff games and make a run. If you remember, was on your side about the Cowboys last year because of his elite passing at times. And if you also remember how he started that season, him versus Brady in a shootout, I thought we're here. He's going against Tom Brady in a fucking shootout, you know, on TV. And it was either a Sunday night or a Monday night game. I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday night game. And it's like, look, he's arrived, you know, and then it's more of this bullshit, you know, more of this Dallas Cowboys fucking weight of the jersey, Jerry Jones bullshit. Like, what they need to do is they need to put their fucking heads down, keep their mouths shut, and win games. You know, until the Dallas Cowboys players, coaches, and owner can shuffle off the coil of the pressure that they've imagined for themselves, right, as a franchise, and the pressure that they put on themselves via oftentimes the fan base, and because of how good they genuinely look on paper. Like, if you took away all the season statistics and just loaded those players into Madden, they'd be one of the best fucking teams. I mean, I haven't played Madden in a long time, but I imagine they're up there as far as, you know, just stats go. And it's like the opposite of the Patriots, right? It's like the Patriots are probably going to win 4 more games than they should, and the Cowboys are probably going to win 1 less game than they should, and it's going to be the first round of the fucking playoffs. It's sad but true. But honestly, I want them to do well because I like ballers, as you guys know. It's in my DNA, and there's ballers all over the fucking field for that team. You know, there's guys everywhere that can make plays, and they're fun to watch. Like, I get that we make fun of Bobby here for being a Cowboys fan because we're, you know, there's a lot of Patriots fans here and shit. As a Bears fan, the Cowboys don't really bother me as much, but they're fun to watch, guys. Like, that when they're good, they're super good, you know? And like he said, they should win that division. And I dislike a lot of other teams in that division too. Like, the Eagles really fucking rub me the wrong way. So
I hate the Eagles. So
yeah, they're very hateable. They're
I hate the Eagles.
like the most easily hateable thing that comes to mind when talking about the NFL. But listen, this is do or die year, man. You got to blow it up. It sounds extreme, but you got to blow it up if Dak can't get his shit together this year. You know?
I agree.
There was so many no-brainer things that we talked about on this podcast last year, as far as like Zeke, the things he should be doing that he's not doing. You know, Dak no showing in big games, like all this shit. It's like, fuck all that, dude. It's time. It's time. You know, if you ask me to put money on which direction I think it's going to go, though, I don't know if I could really put money on that, on them getting it done. That's all. But
I couldn't be less offended. Definitely be. I couldn't be less offended.
But at the same time,
still their division. It's still their division, though. You know, it's their division to lose right now. So
I don't think it would be worth putting money on it anyway. Because like the Bills, I think they're going to be the over.
Probably get a little bit better odds on that. Because like Bobby said, the Eagles did improve, but not enough. Like, they're still not good. You know, I mean, Dak Prescott. Joe? Do you think that Dak Prescott's top 10 quarterback?
Top 10 quarterback, probably.
He's almost certainly a top 10 quarterback. Top 5 potential to be. Definite potential to be.
Let's see what he does this year.
He was at one point of last season the best quarterback. At one point last season, statistically, he was the best quarterback in the NFL.
Then we beat the Patriots our entire season with the shit.
That was dude, like, we talked about that. Every time we referenced that game, I like forgot that the Cowboys won it because it was like such a moral victory for the Patriots for whatever reason. Like,
it sent the teams in two opposite directions. I was at the game. It was amazing. We won the game. It was one of the best football games I've ever seen live.
But like, you should have smashed them.
Yeah, we should have. But it literally sent us in a tailspin, man. The next week we lost to the Broncos. It was our first loss. And it was down from there.
And Bobby, that's what Bill Belichick does.
You know, listen, it was like Thanos. I felt like that. It was like that. I said that to DK. It was like, if we beat the Patriots, and what did it cost? Everything. What
Bill does.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's so true.
Look, sum up, though. Just sum up. Just not start to interrupt you. Just sum up. The best thing you have going for you is that you have an elite quarterback, in my opinion, and you're in a shitty division. So you should, in theory, win. You won 12 games last year, right? 12?
Yeah, 12.
5. You should at least win 12 games this year. Your team hasn't changed, you know?
Yeah, well, it has, though. So the thing is, though, is we gave up Amari. Amari's gone.
I don't think Amari Cooper was as big of a factor as...
I don't think so either. Listen, I don't think so either. But the Gregory was off the edge, 100%.
Sure.
And what annoys me the most about this is it's almost like the Patriots. It's just like, listen, you have an opportunity here. It's not like the Patriots at all. But you have an opportunity here to win, guys. You have your franchise quarterback. Go spend some goddamn money. Like, every year is the same goddamn shit. Oh, Cowboys are reportedly interested in Bobby Wagner. Nope. Cowboys are reportedly interested in Everson Griffin. Nope. Cowboys are reported Von Miller. But like these Von Miller came out and said, I would have taken a pay cut, but not that big of a pay cut. And it's just like, guys, it almost feels Red Sox, where it's like, not to like go to another sport, but it's like, oh, we made him an offer. They just didn't want it. You didn't make him an offer. Stop it. You didn't. You wanted Dante Fowler to come in here and tear it up. And he very well might. Don't get me wrong. Very well might. Dante Fowler is a great signing. But you wanted to be that smart franchise that's like, we're not going to spend big. We're going to get this guy. He's going to come in. Stop. I have never seen a championship game, NFC championship game. Since I have been a Cowboys fan, I have never seen the Cowboys in an NFC championship game. Stop being smart. Go get some ballers, more ballers. Re-sign the guys that you already have, and let's fucking do this. But they didn't, and that's what pisses me off.
You should have just continued being a Patriots fan.
I really should have, man. Really should have.
was Craig Zerline, their kicker, which I know you had a love-hate relationship with Zerline, but now they're basically trying out a rookie, 2 rookie kickers. They brought in. Did they draft a kicker? They brought in a kicker, and I know I'm going down the kicker, but they have a rookie kicker that's in.
Joe fucking loves kickers.
I love kickers.
Joe loves kickers.
I
leave room. I can't even pronounce it.
It's how I feel about closers in baseball. Like any opportunity I can give a guy a save scoring a baseball game, I love to give it to him. I agree with you. The Ben DiNucci-led Dallas Cowboys are going to win the division in the NFC East. Yes, I said Ben DiNucci. That's one of my favorite sounds on TikTok. Have you heard that one, Bobby?
No.
Oh, you got to follow Ben DiNucci on TikTok. This is me shouting out Ben DiNucci on TikTok. Craig, tag Ben DiNucci. He's a really...
If we get him on the podcast, that'd be great. I love it.
That would be outstanding. Ben, come on the podcast. We'd love to talk to Ben DiNucci. The Commanders might be your biggest competition there in that division. I think Nick Sirianni is what's really going to hold back the Philadelphia Eagles. I think their coaching staff stinks. Brian Daboll in New York, they might give you a fit because that offense might be a little bit better in New York, but let's not mince words here. The Cowboys are going to see East. So let's stay in the NFC. I'm really going to throw a curveball. So we're all in agreement the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East?
I feel like I hope so. There is going to be down a man on the podcast.
Yeah, bro. I'm dying. I'm done. I can't take another. I can't take it again.
We'll start the baby.
Oh my God. If the 49ers, I don't even want to go back there. All right.
Don't go back there. Let's go to the NFC North. Let's talk about Dave's Bears and the Packers and the Vikings and the Lions. David, what do you think in the NFC North this year? Because I mean, did you guys get better? You got N'Keal Harry for the Patriots, so clearly that's a plus. But 6-11 last year for your Bears. Who wins the NFC North?
Not the Bears. Oh my God!
I know your heart and your body won't let you say it. I know that it's a fact. The Packers are winning the NFC North.
Thanks for saying it for me.
You're welcome.
The nice part about that is they'll probably crash out in the first fucking round as per usual because they're fucking good. But I mean, I guess I'll just take this opportunity to go on record about the Chicago Bears. Look, I mean, it's kind of what I wanted from their offseason. I know that's going to sound strange to some Bears fans out there. Our roster was old and it was fucking expensive. You know, we weren't winning with it. You know, we went 6-11 with expensive fucking free agent signings and trades on our team. And it's obviously time now to rebuild. In saying that, you know, Poles, the new GM, and Eberflus, however the fuck you pronounce my new head coach's name.
Eberflus.
Yeah, I wanted Flores, but like whatever, you know, here we are. He's defensive minded, which I think suits obviously the profile of the franchise. They drafted defense, which again is something I wanted. But I really want Justin Fields to have a good statistical year. I'm not asking for a big playoff run or anything at this point. I just want Justin Fields to not be like deemed a dud by the end of the season. We lost Allen Robertson II to the Rams, and that's fine. I mean, he honestly wasn't the kind of receiver that Fields is going to succeed with anyway. Darnell Mooney is, and I think that if we had just done anything with the offensive line to keep him safe and not die, then maybe Darnell Mooney and him form a connection and you know, you run like a cool West Coast offense, or you do something fun with Fields, and it's fun to watch at least. But I fear that although the play calling is likely going to be better, because it was probably the worst season of play calling I've ever seen it for any NFL team with Matt Nagy.
It's graceful.
It was fucking bad, man. It felt like to me he was trying to get fired by the end. But I think with the play calling improving, I mean, it can only go up, like you said. It'll be a little bit more fun to watch, but Fields is going to be running for his fucking life all goddamn season again. And it's just like, we made no investments. What they need to do is build another good young defense from the draft, which is what Poles said he was going to do. He was like, we're going to draft for speed and athleticism and mentality, which is how I always do it in the Madden franchises I run. So it makes sense to me. But it took me 3 years to win a Super Bowl with the Bears, by the way, man. So it's not that fucking hard. Okay, my profile picture in our Discord chat is Justin Fields with a Lombardi trophy because I accomplished that goal. And it was on all Madden, okay? So for the record. But he's going to be running for his fucking life. I want them to draft defense. I do, but they need a new young offensive line to grow with their quarterback. That's just a no-brainer. And they didn't get anybody. Our O-line got worse. If you can.
Well, they did draft 2 tackles.
Yeah, like 4th and 5th though. You know, we got a cornerback and a safety for the first 2 picks, and that's good. That's great. You know, we also there was this. This was depressing too. We tried to get Larry Ogunjobi, and he failed a physical, which is like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, what do you like? The ink was almost on the fucking page, and he failed a physical. It's like, guys, like, are you not doing your research before you offer somebody $50 million? Like, I don't know. At least he failed the physical, and like that went. Oh my god, can we move on? I just can't.
Yeah,
like,
we can move on. So
basically, this is why there's somewhat resentment in this podcast, or is it paid? Because me and TK just talked about our teams each for about 5-10 minutes. By the end of our conversation, we were both like, you know what? I'm fucking done. I can't.
Hey, we're going to roll reversal here, Bobby, because I'm going to tell you guys, we're getting there as Patriots fans. If you listen to how me and Mike have talked about this, and Ray have talked about this team in the last few months, especially in our last interview with Karen Garigian, down in the show notes, it's getting worse here because, and not to go back to the Patriots, but just to kind of actually be able to coexist with you guys in this realm of despair. It's not good. I mean, the Patriots don't have an offensive coordinator. They don't have a defensive coordinator. We don't know who's calling the plays one way or the other. And as a fan, I think I said this in the Discord one day, like, we don't need to know these things. And I think Ray was like, hell yeah, we do. Like, yeah, like we do need to know, like, who's calling the plays, who's calling the shots, and the Patriots got worse. I think the Bears stayed the same. I think they didn't. They got worse. The only thing I'll say about the Bears is at least it's not going to be run by a fucking circus full of clowns anymore. Like at least the head coach is a guy that's like hits. He's like, keep the ball, take the ball away, take care of the ball, fucking strength and intensity, and that's his whole thing. And he's going to run it like somebody that like actually knows how to run a football team. So there's that. But we're also not really built to win right now. So it's just like, I'm going to watch this fucking team every week, like I always do. And I'm going to be fucking sad. And like what Bobby's saying is, you being like, but who's our defensive coordinator, is like, suck my nuts, dude. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, like, you've just watched your team win 1 billion Super Bowls and you're like, it boggles the fucking mind. The lack of fucking self-awareness from all of you is honestly fucking shocking.
Agreed.
Like, we go in the
I couldn't agree with that.
We go in the fucking Discord and you guys are like, oh, I'm so mad right now. We're only going to win 10 games this year. Oh, I'm like, suck my asshole.
Well, listen, I would actually give my asshole up for a Super Bowl appearance.
No. Don't make that deal.
You know what?
That's worse. That's fucking worse.
All right, fine. For an NFC Championship appearance, I'll reel it back a little. Just let me get one. Let me get one game from the fucking Super Bowl.
If you went to the NFC Championship and battled it out with the fucking Packers or
amazing
something, you'd
wish
like,
that
all right,
happened.
well, it was a good season. At least
I wish that would happen.
First round, like. It honestly, it's insane. You know what it is? It's let them eat cake. That's what it is. It's me and Bobby getting rotten fucking bread on the streets of Paris and then having to listen to you guys be like, I don't know if the cake's quite.
I don't like chocolate cake. I don't even like chocolate cake.
How old is this wine?
It would have been better if, you know what? It would have been better if it was marble cake. We have vanilla and chocolate.
And like, Joe, I don't mean to rebuff you so hard, but it's like you're sitting here going like, well, guys, I mean, I can relate. No, you fucking can't.
Sure we can. I can relate. Prior to 2000, we went to a Super Bowl and lost. So anyway,
fucking hair on your balls yet. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah, like, bro,
you're a child. The Patriots not winning the Super Bowl. You just went outside and played. This is all we have now.
Oh, football season's gonna be so fucked up.
Honestly.
Well, anyway, so
I've been so happy. I've been so happy for like 7 months, man. It is like, God damn it, man. God damn it. Here we are again. All right, go on.
Dave.
All right, look, just to sum up the rest of the NFC North so we can fucking move on before one of my eyes pops out of my fucking head. The Bears are going to be like 2-7 going into a fucking game against the Detroit Lions. And I'm going to be like hoping that they win. Okay, like scraps from the fucking table. Like Daddy Warbucks, come and fucking adopt me. I'm little orphan Annie. I hope we beat the fucking Lions. Like, yeah, and the Packers will probably sweep us yet again. Also, our primetime streak's over. Like, at least the Bears were still a prestigious enough franchise to have like honestly multiple primetime games, which got embarrassing towards the end of last season. I'm like, I really don't need to see them play Monday Night Football again. This is turgid. But we're not doing that.
Nice word.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's really accurate. It's really
That's
accurate.
a good word for that. No,
it's one of those words that sounds like what it means. So it's good in context. But yeah, thank God we're not going to have to embarrass ourselves on fucking Monday Night Football again this year. But even though we did beat the Cowboys last year in Monday Night Football, like 38-13, that was fun. But I
hate to burst your bubble, but you do have to play Monday Night Football.
Really? I thought we didn't have a primetime game this year.
Week 7 in New England
against the Patriots.
God,
that's good.
That's on Monday night. That's on Monday night.
Night game against the Commanders on October 13th.
I'm not calling them that.
I'll
for the records. I'm calling them Washington football team from here until the day we die. You know what? You know what? I didn't look at the schedule, but honestly, I read an article that said the primetime streak is over. That we're not getting a primetime game this year. But I guess that was wrong. So cool. Well, I guess now that's even worse.
Weird. Maybe he was home. I mean, you have a Thursday night game, but
maybe it was home. Maybe it was games at Soldier Field. Maybe you're right.
So
I don't know. That's worse. That's bad news. That's bad news
here. And Eberflus can beat Bill Belichick in week 7.
Yeah. What? How?
Who knows?
All right, look, I mean, okay, so let's if there are any Chicago Bears fans listening, you're probably in the same boat as me, but let's do some positive. David Montgomery's had 2 good seasons. If the offensive line's built for anything, it's built for run protection. Justin Fields is really talented. He is going into his second year. We do actually have a proven defensive mind at head coach now, as opposed to a guy who like was touted as an offensive guru, but turned out to be a dribbling fucking simpleton. Like Jesus Christ! Don't give that guy.
It was like 3 in a row. We're like,
don't give that guy an NFL team. Give that guy a coloring book. But like at the end of the day, that's what I just had to go through. You'd think I'd be more optimistic going into this season. I'm actually optimistic about the future. I like the stuff coming out from polls. I like everything. I like everything that's going on as far as the next 10 years goes. But the next season. Oh, Jesus. Good running back, though. Yeah, I would still recommend you draft him in your fantasy leagues because he's one of those guys that gets yards after the first contact. So he's a high fantasy upside. Don't bet on the Bears to win the division. I'd say they're coming in 3rd.
I've been in the boat of good running back though. At least we got that. doesn't use
as the NFL progresses away farther and farther from running backs mattering at all. Yeah,
dude, he's 3rd behind who?
Vikings, right?
The Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings.
Yeah.
No way. They'll be 2nd in that division.
I don't know if you understand.
They'll be 2nd in that division, and they might squeak into a playoff spot.
I this year I'm not going in optimistic just to get disappointed. This year I'm like, you guys need to show me something.
You're not going
Patriots fan. I have to be optimistic about something.
You're not Patriots fan.
Wait, You're not going with my Mike McCarthy over Jason Garrett 13-3 fucking prediction. Come on, man.
And honestly, I'll give you this. At least Eberflus doesn't clap.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He just like stands there looking miserable, which is what I want.
Yeah, exactly. I want them.
I'm just happy for you that you got rid of your Garrett. We can end the division on that. Packers are winning this division. I don't think there's any doubt about that. 100%. Yeah,
I still think Aaron Rodgers is a fucking joke, though.
All right, North. So the Bengals won that division last year. Dave's got to go. Is he pooping?
I think so. Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Keep going.
Should we wait for him? Because we're about to talk about his wife's team. So maybe.
Where did he go? Hey, there he is.
Hey, there he is.
Hey,
where'd you go?
I just had to go punch myself in the dick because we had to talk about the Chicago Bears for the last 10 minutes. So I just had to really aggressively punch myself in the dick. No, my TV turns on its own. It's some weird setting and it was being loud, so I had to turn it off. Sorry.
Oh, haunted LA house. Gotcha. All right. So the AFC North, the Bengals obviously won that last year because they went to the Super Bowl with Mr. Joe Burrow. And then the Steelers finished 2nd, the Browns 3rd, and the Ravens 4th.
I'm so high on the Steelers this year. I think the Mitch Rasson.
Shocked.
They're going to be my team. They're going to be my fucking team that actually make me happy.
You're married to someone who.
Yeah, but the Mitch-Renaissance, bro. The Mitch-Renaissance is coming. It's coming to a town near you.
Yeah,
Everybody-
I thought about that when he got traded.
Think about
I was like, you know what?
Think about it. Think about it. It's perfect. It's exactly the redemption story you need. Mike Tomlin, really good coach. The Pittsburgh Steelers have needed an upgrade at fucking quarterback for what, 5 years at this point?
Yeah.
Sophomore elite running back could go top 4 in your fantasy drafts. They're an absolute fucking highlight factory when they draft guys. Like they know how to draft skill players. So whoever they got, I'm sure is going to be sick. And Mitch Trubisky, it turns out, was being coached for the entire first few years of his career by, I said it before and I'll say it again, a dribbling fucking simpleton in Matt Nagy. So it wasn't his fault. You got to give him a chance. Give him a chance in an offense like Pittsburgh. Come on, think about it.
What happened to Ryan Tannehill?
He's better than fucking Ryan Tannehill. Mitch Trubisky's had his fucking moments, okay? He's had his moments. And the mental strength that he has to be at where he is right now. And coming off the bench, where the fuck was he? He was coming off the bench somewhere last year. He had Buffalo. He had a couple decent games, remember? When he had to come in for Josh Allen, or like maybe they were up 40 points and he came up in garbage time. Well, it doesn't matter.
I think it was week 17.
Point being.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are winning that division this year. What? You heard it here first, folks.
Tommy, we're going to see.
You heard it here first, everybody.
4.
Super Bowl hangover for the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh Steelers win 12 games and they win the division.
Oh my God.
All right, can we?
Is this just going to be a never-ending battle for the history of the podcast on the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is that what?
I married the woman, Bobby. What do you want me to do?
Listen, that's commitment, bro. Listen, for what was the for I don't even fucking know. I didn't get married.
You know what? I'm kind of sold on that Steelers prediction. If there was a team in the league that
till death do us part. That's it. Till death do us part. That's it.
Yeah, you'll get there soon, Bobby. Don't worry. I can get behind that Steelers bet. Like I might put money on the Steelers to win that division. Like that's the first one we've talked about of the 4 where you know
Might get some good odds on that.
Had 10 to 1. 10 to 1.
Oh, I'm fucking betting that after this show. Fuck that. I'm
10 to 1, bro.
Money, amount, same place. Let's do it.
Sorry, wife. I'm putting some money down on the Steelers to win the AFC North. The Bengals could still win. I don't think the Bengals got worse, but I think you could be right about a Super Bowl hangover. I think that's the kind of swagger that team has.
I love Joe Burrow, by the way.
Oh, without a doubt. With that, I think he's the top 7 quarterback in the league already. Like he can just fucking slap it. Oh my God.
I think I can probably name 6 better quarterbacks than him, but I love his attitude. I think he's what the Browns thought they were getting with Baker Mayfield. That's who he reminds me of.
I agree. I think he is. I think he's at least top 10 at this point, man. You can't tell me that.
Well, he was just in the Super Bowl, so it's hard to argue.
That's what I mean. You can't tell me a guy who led his team to and led them there.
He's better than Dak?
Didn't. Yeah. 100%.
Guy.
He was the most stacked quarterback in the league.
If you
had any offensive line, they win that Super Bowl.
Listen. I'll tell you this: if Dak Prescott gets sacked 7 times in a playoff game, there's no fucking way we're winning that game. No fucking way. And Joe Burrow went out there and beat the Titans. Beat the Titans, getting sacked 7 times. So.
And then had to play in a Super Bowl. Then had to play in a Super Bowl against the best defensive line of football.
Right. And almost won that game.
And almost won that fucking game.
And almost won that game too. So, like, yeah, I love Dak. And on his best days, yeah, he's probably better than Joe Burrow. But if the Bengals called me up tomorrow and were like, hey, we'll trade you Joe for Dak, 10 times out of 10. Give me Joe Burrow
100%
on this team right now.
I saw a tweet today, I got to tell you, that was like, when do you guys think the commercial is going to come out where it's Baker Mayfield packing up to go to a different stadium? He doesn't run to the stadium anymore. But then then Deshaun Watson comes up and goes, hello, I just moved in down the street. I'm legally required to inform you. So burn.
You know what?
That's
Speaking
so
of
good.
dumpster fire that is still the Cleveland Browns, they had so much going for them. They had a good year last year. They were 8-9. They had a good year. Baker Mayfield, that franchise did that man dirt. And you can think
off. Baker Mayfield sucks, dude. Let's be honest with ourselves.
It doesn't matter if he sucks. They still did him dirty. They went out and spent all
He didn't want to come back.
Well, he didn't. Well, now he doesn't want to come back.
He was done.
Talking about it, like they were already talking about bringing in Deshaun Watson. So now they're going to have, and what it sounds like is that Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starter for 8 games, and great for Jacoby Brissett. I think he had a fine career in Indianapolis in the games that he played in. I don't think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't think he's going to.
He's
be
trash.
like that.
He's trash. Let's not do this. He's
I
trash.
love football. I love football.
Like this team was on the up. They were moving up, and now they've just brought themselves back down.
It's so Browns. Yeah, it's so Browns to have your first pick, right? To have this guy. They won their first playoff game. And it was amazing because it just solidified my Steelers point at the time. They won their first playoff game in like 20 years, right? Savior.
Don't you think the Steelers were like one, like not having Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
Out there.
So actually, wait, yeah. Before I go on to that point, I meant to reiterate off your point before. I almost agree. I can't because I fucking hate the Steelers, but I almost agree because I told you guys that entire time. My biggest problem with the fucking Steelers was Ben Roethlisberger.
100%.
100%.
Fucking wet noodle arm.
It's like their defense was good. There were so many good aspects to that team, but you can't fucking win a game if your dude can't get you the ball. 100, you just can't.
Totally.
Everybody's got a shelf life, and Ben was long past it.
Yeah, he was past it when he. Never mind. So
that division's got to have like the record for sexual assault.
Whipping your dick out. And we're calling it the AFC dick out from now on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, AFC sentencing guidelines.
AFC Central. But anyways, so going from the first pick, right, in the draft, your savior, trading for Deshaun Watson, another superstar quarterback.
I mean, he's
to
nasty.
replace that first pick. He's awesome in football, and then having to start Jacoby Brissett.
He may never play. Like, this is the thing about Deshaun Watson. He may never play again. The NFL is saying, and I could be very, very wrong about this, because there's rumors that he's going to be suspended for 8 games. There's rumors that he's suspended for.
Dude, doesn't he have like 500 charges against him?
Well, he settled a number of them out of court, and that doesn't mean that there can't still be charges.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it doesn't
all
happen.
Right. Well,
I'd love to be settled these, like he's been defending himself against these, but then he settles. Like, I feel like,
but let's be honest.
If you settle, does that to you guys, before you get to your point, Dave, if you settle out of court, is that an admission of guilt?
No, I don't think it's an admission of guilt. I think it's I don't want to fucking deal with this. I think the clear indication of guilt is the fucking tour bus of people that are accusing him of being a fucking creep.
If 20 girls come out and say you whipped your dick out in a massage, then you fucking whipped your dick out.
You might be able to defend yourself against it, but not
right. 2 or 3 is even extreme. You know, look, I'm just saying, if Louis C.K. got fucking canceled for that shit, should we really be giving Deshaun Watson $100 million? Like, whatever.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Hey, really what we should be saying here, what we should be preaching is don't sexually assault people.
Well, of course. But if 20 people accuse you of it, maybe for an NFL franchise, you shouldn't sign him to a 7-year, $200 million.
If Jacoby Brissett got accused by that many women of whipping his dick out, he would not.
He'd be working in a Piggly Wiggly. Yeah.
Buckets get you, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Second chances, third chances, fifth chances, you know?
All right. So what about the Ravens? Do we
always good? Always there or thereabouts, you know?
Are they going to be better this year? They were 8-9 last year.
They're going to be 3rd in the division.
So the Browns are probably going to finish last.
Oh, I think
Bengals and Steelers will battle for the
one
division.
game, maybe. I mean, look, at the NFL, you know, you spend a lot of time talking about the NBA, and I think you can drop a guy into an NBA team, have him be a toxic mess, and you can ruin the chemistry of your whole franchise. I think that's a little different in the NFL. A, there's shitloads more guys there. B, so like obviously your impact isn't going to be as big, right? B, some of these franchises, they're kind of built to take that, punch on the chin. It's like the Celtics had Kyrie Irving. We got past it because we're the Boston Celtics. The Brooklyn Nets have Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets are basically fucking brand new, and they're fucked, right? Obviously, because like they're that kind of franchise. I think when you take a Deshaun Watson and drop him in Cleveland, an already seemingly dysfunctional franchise, if they're not sticking with the guy that they were back into the fucking hilts for the last few years, with the guy that was their future,
the guy who's protected in his house.
Yeah, the guy who lives at the fucking stadium or whatever bullshit they were coming up with to sell State Farm insurance, then like I think they're fucked. I think their franchise is fucked. And like you said, he might not play a game. He straight up might not play a game. So
could you imagine that? They trade for Deshaun Watson. They trade away. Yeah, he's nasty. He's an incredible football player, but they trade away Baker Mayfield. They get a guy who may never play a game. They have Jacoby Brissett, who, besides being below average,
my favorite part of the podcast so far, by the way, was you doing an impression of a Browns fan talking themselves into Jacoby Brissett, like it was the 2020-2021 offseason, and it was you guys doing that fucking podcast about how who was it? It was like before you got
Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even Brian Hoyer. It was
Jared Stidham.
Okay. But that was my favorite podcast we've ever done to date, because like listening to you guys be like, so Stidham's arm strength, and I was like, oh my god. And like Joe can just get there somehow. He's like,
I always get there.
So Jacoby Brissett, like what? It's like he's fucking terrible. He's honestly so bad. It's like these videos you've seen of Jameis Winston like pumping up his fucking guys. Like, yeah, it's like he's a real leader. It's like, dude, he's a real leader. He's
a W.
He's a leader at matching his touchdowns with his interception numbers in a season.
I think he's the leader at most crab legs stolen from a Publix. So let's move on to who wins the North? Steelers?
No, the Bengals will do it. This will be a battle to the end of the world.
Steelers, baby, Steel Nation.
Oh,
can't wait.
He's gonna
fucking love football.
I can't wait.
He's gonna start calling us yins. So the AFC South.
You guys ever had Yingling? It's really tasty.
Yeah, I really like Yingling. Not a sponsor. Could be.
They will fucking drink it too. Like every time me and Leah go to Pittsburgh, people are like, a Yingling, please. I'm like, oh, fuck, y'all are about that culture, huh? Okay.
Oh,
I'll drink it too, I guess. Whatever. Fuck yeah.
I love
like you've never heard of it.
Culture.
Bobby, you never heard of Yingling?
I love Yingling, bro.
Okay, good. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you can't fucking drink it. Keep talking shit about the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro.
Steelers.
I'm
sorry.
If Yingling sponsors the podcast, we will drink it on the podcast. And
I just like it because it's a tasty beverage, and it sounds like what you would name like the last panda at a zoo. Yingling.
With that,
onto the AFC South.
Arguably the worst division in football. Maybe Titans won it last year, 12-5. Colts 9-8. They have a new quarterback. The Texans, they're Texans, and the Jaguars.
I don't think the Titans are going to be that bad.
No, I think
they'll win that division probably.
I mean, they did lose their top two wide receivers.
They're still they have a good head coach. They have good players like dotted around that roster. I mean, do you not think they're going to win that division? I feel like they will.
No, I feel like they'll win that division. I think the Colts got better. I don't know if Matt Ryan may. I think Matt Ryan is a better option at quarterback than Carson
They also
Wentz.
still have the best running back in football. So
yeah, they do.
Yeah, no. So that's what it all relies on, right? Is it relies on Derrick Henry? If Derrick Henry is the Derrick Henry,
Are you talking about Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor?
I was talking about Derrick Henry.
Yeah, okay. If Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry 2 years ago, the rushed for 2,000 yards, then yeah, losing AJ Brown doesn't matter. But is
he healthy by like week 13? I think is the big question.
Right, and if teams, so the thing is with Derrick Henry is like it doesn't matter if you put fucking 8, 9, 10 minutes in the box, he still can fucking bust at 80 yards and tear you apart and have 200 yards. So you can't really focus in on him. It's just a matter of if how much Ryan Tannehill sucks that week. That's really what determines the Titans' future, man. I think the Colts win this division, if I'm being perfectly honest, because I don't know if you guys watched that Hard Knocks in-season shit last year, but Carson Wentz is a fucking joke. Okay, he's an absolute, he's not a quarterback that you're ever going to win a Super Bowl with. He just doesn't have the demeanor. There's so many things that he doesn't check off on the checklist that Matt Ryan has already checked off. I know I'm the biggest Matt Ryan hater probably on the podcast. I loved him when he was at BC, but time and time again, he's proven he can't necessarily get to that level. But I promise you, he can get to that level more than fucking Carson Wentz can.
Well, they're chasing. They chasing what they were chasing in Indianapolis when they brought in Philip Rivers. Like, I feel like they called Philip Rivers and tried to get him to come back, and he said no. And they were like,
Thank
"All right,
fucking God for that." I don't want to talk about that guy anymore.
It's
I know.
a fact.
But I agree, Bobby. I agree.
It is the same thing where it's like, listen, if these guys can go can come within a devastating, maybe one of the worst losses I've literally ever seen in my life. When
you were
week 17,
fucking double doink, then I guess.
Well, I won money off that, so that was a good loss.
Yeah,
I apologize. I'm sorry, but the week 17 loss to the Jaguars was literally one of the worst. Concerning the circumstances, like this terrible team it was literally the worst team in the NFL. Been through so much shit this entire season. It has been to hell in football terms, literally to hell with the coach that fucking hates them. And they come in and kick your ass week 17. Whoever's leading that team, whoever the quarterback is, isn't your guy. And I promise you, Matt Ryan is the quarterback of that team. They win that game week 17. So it's like, if you can come that close to Carson Wentz, I think your ceiling is a lot higher with a guy like Matt Ryan, who's proven
I know he's older.
he can be in that moment.
I know he's older, but he is talented, and I feel like what if he gets that Matt Stafford bump?
That's what I mean, man. Like, listen, the talent level, strictly talent level between Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan when it comes to throwing the ball is astronomical, right?
Yeah.
So it's in seeing there's so many different things that Matt Ryan does better than Carson Wentz, and when you have a team as talented as Indianapolis is with Jonathan Taylor, with who's the linebacker? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's one of the best linebackers in the league.
We got Darius Leonard.
Darius Leonard, thank you. With Darius Leonard quarterback in the defense, the ceiling is so high compared to last season. You know what I mean? Yes, I think that the Titans are awesome, but their ceiling is at maximum 11 games with Ryan Tannehill as quarterback. The Colts ceiling is 13 games, 14.
I still think the Titans are winning the division. I just really like
I can't talk
Vrabel.
Yeah, I just think he's a good coach. I think he's gonna be able to manage them through that season. I don't think the Colts, like, I do think the bump could happen with Matt Ryan, but like his last few seasons have been fucking piss poor. Like they have
been bad. They have been really bad.
It has to be a really big turnaround for the Colts to have the kind of season you're talking about, like a 13-win season with a new quarterback. I don't know, man.
That's the ceiling. That's but
it's like
up to his top.
If you're placing money on it, you're gonna bet on fucking Henry just like running through the fucking division, right?
Yeah,
winning them 10 games, and having them win the division, right? Like that's more realistic, I think.
Hey, you know who the backup quarterback is to Matt Ryan? Nick Foles. Right there with Frank Reich, right?
It comes full circle.
It's Ryan Matt, and it's just Matt Ryan in a old timey mustache. Just
right,
guys.
I'm crazy. I can't talk myself into Indianapolis. I'm with Dave again on this one. Tennessee, I think they're just the better team. You talked about the Jaguars, and for a second, they got better because Doug Peterson is the head coach there, and he had success in Philadelphia. Obviously, beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
So fucking douche.
Yeah, well, Carson Wentz fucked it all up.
No. That guy's out there writing books because he won a fucking Super Bowl against Bill Belichick. That guy's a fucking tool. You can tell it from a mile away.
I guarantee you, if you looked up Urban Meyer, he's got a book too. Who's the bigger douche, Urban Meyer or Doug Peterson?
You can have. There's plenty of douche to go around.
Well, in Jacksonville, they got the lesser of the douche, so they're gonna bring him in.
That fucking Urban Meyer experiment, huh? Jesus Christ.
I think they're better for it. I think the Texans finished dead last. I think the Jaguars won 6 games, and I think they finished third in that division.
Just want to bring up one more time how insane it is what happened to the Texans. It was Bobby's point. Like,
I'll never in my life will I forget.
it's the biggest collapse of a franchise in any sport I've ever seen.
And the Browns are going to be right behind them. But dude, that was.
But they didn't hit the heights of like being ahead
The Texans were up
in a playoff game
27-0
by
I think it's one of the best
27
teams in the league.
points against the fucking Chiefs and blowing it, and then having their whole franchise crumble. Now, listen, Texas as a state is taking away civil rights, so they can all go fuck themselves. But hilarious fucking just demolition, controlled demolition.
Yeah,
I can't
it is.
believe it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how low they are now. That's what blows my mind. Is like they had so much talent. So think back to the Texans, right? Remember when they had Watson, Hopkins, Will Fuller,
Right. Who could have been a top 5 wide receiver if he wasn't made of glass.
right? Who did they have? They had J.J. Watt. They had Jadeveon Clowney. Like you go up and
They were stacked.
it's crazy how
And then
high.
everybody was like, fuck this, we're out of here.
Well, the biggest thing is when J.J. Watt is like peace out. That's when I knew from there. Like, yeah, that trade of Hopkins was bad, and that was a Bill O'Brien special, which that guy is insane. But I'd still take him as the offensive coordinator anyway. But when J.J. Watt was like, "Get me out of here," that's when it's all over. And I think it's going to get worse as long as McNair is the owner of that team. I don't think
And they
it's
were
gonna
like,
get better.
Deshaun, what about you? What do you think of all these guys leaving? And he's like, want to see my dick?
Give me a massage. So anyway,
Want to see my dick?
let's see the NFC South. Speaking of dicks,
I can't.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers 13-4 last year. The New Orleans Saints, who have a new head coach, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Carolina Panthers, who are horrid. And Matt Rule is probably not a good NFL head coach. What do we think?
I mean, I just like to go on record. Like, I'm actually kind of like a late stage Tom Brady defender when it comes to like people shitting on him, because I know he's like been in your face and like it's been oversaturated, but he is like the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. And like, I am trying to be a little bit of a sports atheist when I say like we're lucky to have been in an era where we've seen that, and I was like, we saw greatness, whatever. To retire and like make my whole social media feed the fucking like victory lap of Tom Brady's career, and then to just be like, fucking never mind.
JKLOL.
And it's just like, okay, so what you're telling me is I have to hear about Tom Brady for another season. He's probably going to do pretty well. I don't see them winning another fucking championship, but who fucking knows? I mean, that would honestly be hilarious. I wouldn't even mind seeing that. But then he's going to retire again, and we're going to have to go through another round of like Sports Center top 10 Tom Brady moments. Talk to me about what he was like as a teammate in 2003. Fucking whatever, like retire or don't retire. Like, it's just so fucking annoying. But
Just the same.
yeah, but it's not the same. But it's not the same thing, though, is it? Because it's like it's Tom fucking Brady, right? Like it's to the point where I've been playing the UFC game lately, and like the way when you're playing a video game and like you start to rehear the commentary all the time. John Anik makes a fucking Tom Brady reference, and even that's pissing me off because I've heard it like 30 times now while I'm like fighting in the fucking little virtual game. Anyway, whatever. Point being, the Bucs are probably still going to win that division. I don't know if you guys disagree.
I don't think it's probably. I think it's almost as certain as the Bills winning the AFC East. There's no one. Look at this division, man.
Dennis Allen.
Just look at it. It's we're the only reason this division isn't
Christian
by
McCaffrey
far-
resurgence.
Bro, that's it.
He can't stay healthy.
Listen, when you're relying, so let's just talk about the quarterback. We're not even going to talk about the teams, right? We're just going to stick to one position.
Here comes
the
Jameis,
quarterback.
baby.
Right. We got Tom Brady. We got Jameis Winston. We got who the fuck knows in Carolina.
Yeah.
And we got who's even quarterback in Atlanta now?
Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota. Bro, come on.
Joe,
my-
do the thing about Marcus Mariota that you did, about
When Marcus
Jarrett.
Mariota
Give him the Jarrett Stidham treatments.
when Marcus Mariota came out of Oregon, he was really good. I mean, he was the next big thing. And in
Dallas loves average quarterbacks.
the artist strength pretty good. Hey, when he came in for Derek Carr in Oakland / Las Vegas, he had some good showings, especially out of that cat formation they would run. It really good. I think,
bro, you really are good at that. I'd say that's one of your most talented things is take.
Dude, I wish we had
back.
I wish we had this podcast in
bringing him to an 8.
I wish we had this podcast in like 2003, so Joe could do like a no, guys. Chad Pennington's not that bad, Rams.
No, Joey Harrington will win the Super Bowl.
Honestly, I think he was one of the best throwers of the ball under 8 yards I've ever seen.
Elvis Gerback in the right system, bro.
No, seriously about the Falcons, Kyle Pitts could very easily make Marcus Mariota look like Joe. Joe Namath. I don't know. Like he could make that guy look really good. Like he really could. And I'm being actually dead serious about that. But there's no way Atlanta's going to be like that's the stupidest thing. Listen. Dennis Allen being hired as the head coach in New Orleans, it's a bad decision. Arthur Smith being hired by Atlanta, you guys know how I feel about that. I think Raheem Morris should have been the head coach in Atlanta the whole time. But regardless, this division belongs to Tampa. I think
they probably would have won if Brady didn't even come back, to be honest with you.
Probably. Honestly, they probably could have. Who's their backup quarterback? Is it still Mike Lennon?
It's Gabbert.
I don't know who it is, Joe, but tell us why he's
too.
Yo, this is football season at its finest right here. Let's talk about Blaine Gabbert for a second. We can get into that.
We can talk about anything when it comes to football. All right, so we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning that division. 2 more divisions to go through. Let's go through the NFC West.
Rams.
Yeah, I think it's the Rams as well. I don't think the Cardinals got any worse. I think they're still going to be in that playoff conversation in the NFC. I think the 49ers, I don't know what they're doing out there, but I think that could be a pretty big, I don't know.
Hey guys, how's Jimmy G doing? Great. He's healthy. He's finally healthy.
Yeah,
oh, good. Oh, good. He's healthy. So you can finally trade him, right? Guys, he's healthy. So you can finally trade him, right? Wait, where'd you go? You're not trading him again. Okay, that's fucking weird.
They allowed him as of today, July 20th, said he can seek a trade.
You know what that tells me is they can't find a trade.
Or
that's
well, no one wants to pay him that money.
Right, it's the money.
Doesn't want to restructure.
Yeah, it's when you look at this division,
they should have just gone with Drew Lock out of the jump. Don't you think? Like I feel like
you mean Trey Lance?
I mean Trey Lance, yeah. Like they should have just done that so that they could start to move in that direction as opposed to like be doing that like sit on the fence. You know, here we are. Maybe we can make a run with Jimmy. Oh, his contract sucks. Whatever. Just bite the bullet that season. Bite the bullet on his contract that season, and then you're in good shape right now.
Yeah, they should have traded him after. If they were ready to move on, if they thought Jimmy wasn't the answer after that Super Bowl, don't blame him. He missed that throw. That's literally the reason they lost that game.
Got him there though.
He got it.
Wasn't ready. Organization.
Exactly.
It wasn't Kyle Shanahan because he was definitely ready. I think it was John Lynch because Lynch put a lot into that kid, and he didn't trade away a lot, but it's kind of that Bill Belichick mindset. I'm only using that because that's the best comparison I
take a shot every time Joe uses Bill Belichick as a metaphor.
Yeah. but look at what he did with N'Keal Harry. Like, honestly, he shouldn't have gotten even a 7th round pick for him. He should have released him at least a season ago. But instead, he offloaded him and got anything he could. And I think it's the same thing with Jimmy G. I think John Lynch traded assets away for this guy, paid him a lot of money, and now he's like, well, now he's a prized possession. I can't throw him away.
It's hindsight's 2020 though. I feel like when he signed that contract, like nobody was like, oh my god. Like there was definitely questions about his durability, but like when he signed that contract, like every fucking Patriots fan in New England wouldn't shut the fuck up about like when are we gonna get Jimmy G back? Like he should be the guy. Like a lot of people would have paid him that. A lot of people would have paid him that, right? Like when he signed that contract. No one will pay him now, sure, but like how come in football there isn't trades like in basketball where somebody goes like, all right, we'll take that shitty Jimmy G contract off your hands, but you got to like give us some other shit. You know, like we'll eat that salary, but like let us get some like draft picks or some shit.
I think it's the way the cap is formed. I think it's part of the CBA.
It's weird.
There's
it's fucking weird. You're stuck. You're stuck in the NFL when you have a contract like this. Like you're fucked. If nobody wants to come get him and believes in him.
Because the NFLPA wants to get their guys paid.
Yeah, and
I'd rather those guys get it than like the fucking owners. So like,
the careers can change so much faster too, though. That's really what it is. Like Jimmy G can go from
a quarterback though.
Yeah, but a Jimmy G quarterback.
Yeah,
where you know what I mean? Where it's like his.
Well, look at Alex Smith. Look at Alex.
Yeah, right. Same.
I guess my point is, it would be a more fun off season if you could do shit like that.
It would be. Agreed.
For us.
What's funny is like one big comparison you can use is, not only Alex Smith, but to kind of solidify your point, Dick, is look at Gordon Hayward. I mean, shattered his ankle, came back, and now he's a pretty good basketball player for Charlotte. So, I mean, he can at least still play.
He's also on my all-time Celtics draft team. So
fair enough.
I stand
MBD.
I think to Bobby's point, that's exactly what it is. These guys get injuries like that in the NFL, and they can't play the same way.
Just for the record, by the way, if you're listening to this because you only listen to the football content, I don't think that Gordon Hayward is an all-time Celtic. We did do a Celtics draft, and it was a snake draft. So with my last pick,
one of the best Celtics of all time, fucking Gordon Hayward.
Listen to it. Show notes. Thank you.
Yes, if you like basketball and you like the Celtics, show notes. Go over and listen to our draft on the 617. That was on the 617, right?
I don't remember, but
if not, Craig, cut that out.
Listen to either one of them. But anyways, so to sum up that division, it's the fucking Bucks, right?
Yeah. No, we moved.
We're the West.
The Rams.
We're the West. Yeah, my bad. What the fuck am I talking about?
It's the Rams. The Rams are going to win the division.
It's the Rams, right? It's the Rams, the team that beat the Bucks last year. That's where I was at. It's the Rams. There's no arguing about that. You know what I mean? It's like, even if Trey Lance is the starter, the 49ers don't have a fucking chance. If Jimmy G is the starter, the 49ers have like a 10% chance of winning that division. Either way, it's.
I just think the Rams are just too good, man. I mean,
they're really good.
Coaches
and they added Allen Robinson to that fucking offense. Like,
I'm so pissed when
Shell. I think he might be done.
Right? I think he might be done too. But if he's in the,
is he done as a third wide receiver?
No, not at all. But he kind of plays like a wide receiver one though, if that makes sense. Like I think you're gonna get the most out of him if he's a one guy. I mean, this might be wishful thinking on my part. I don't know. I hope he fails.
I just see it. I just see a universe. I know we're over time, and welcome to football season. I'm sorry. I just see a universe that Allen Robinson 3 times next year: week 5, week 11, week 16, where he goes 7 for 180 and 2 touchdowns. Because in the rest of the weeks he may have 1 catch, 13 yards.
Yeah,
but there's going to be those couple weeks where that old Allen Robinson comes out because
they're trying to cover the third best fucking defensive back.
Third option, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. No, the Rams are the best team in that division. I mean, you even just looking at the other quarterbacks, like sure, Kyler Murray, like if he can get his head on straight, and that team isn't bad.
It could be a wild card.
I think they will be. Then your other 2 quarterbacks are Trey Lance and Drew Lock. Not sold. So the final division to go over is the AFC West.
Joe's like, I'm not sold on those 2 guys because they're not shitty enough.
They're not shitty enough. I can make an argument for Drew Lock. I like Drew Lock.
I like Drew Lock too, actually. I can't wait for him to be exactly the kind of quarterback that you love in like 4 years. Though.
So the AFC West, I think, what's up?
It's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win.
I think the Chiefs got worse, and I think the Raiders got better. I think it's going to be a dogfight.
No, come on.
I think it's going to be a dogfight.
Come on, because they lost Tyreek Hill. They still have got fucking Mahomes, dude.
That's great. That's great. And listen, I was the one who demolished Josh McDaniels on this podcast for how he was calling plays and running the offense in New England. I think he's going to be an outstanding head coach in Las Vegas, and I think he's just the right guy to go and beat the Chiefs.
Let me tell you something about the coaching position in Las Vegas. You couldn't have gotten worse. Okay, there was no going down in the coaching spot for the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay,
like John Gruden.
Listen, I'm honestly just disappointed that theme and through line isn't going to be present this coming season. And by the way, like, how you guys didn't fully fucking agree with me. I mean, I know I was vindicated hard in the end, but how you didn't agree with me. The man is a simpleton. He is a fucking idiot. You know how I know? I'm in the world and I see the world for what it is. I've gone through my career as you guys have gone through your career, and you've looked at people in high positions and gone like, wow, you failed up, huh? Like, you fucking baboon. Like, John Gruden, and like the fact it's almost disappointing to me. This is my last ever John Gruden man.
I was just gonna say, you need
also
one last.
It's almost disappointing to me that he got like canceled for being a racist, because I really was sure he was going to get fired on his own merit. It was looking that way too. To give him that contract is just irresponsible. I'll never forgive the ownership and front office of the Oakland Raiders. And I don't think that QB is very fucking smart either, because I thought it was a fucking pair of idiots running the fucking mortuary down there. And they have a cool stadium, don't get me wrong, but Las Vegas is a fucking hellhole, and I hope they never ever succeed. The Chiefs are going to win that division. They're going to win that division by 3 games at least. Come on, let's be honest.
I'm going to say the Raiders just to go back and forth with you, because Bobby's got the AFC.
Let's establish it now. Let's do it.
We're establishing it now. I think the Raiders win that division. Also,
Joe, there isn't.
Do that in. Dave, you now owe baboons an apology. That was very mean to baboons.
That's true. They're smarter than John Gruden.
I would say, so I do agree. I think Chiefs win this division, because no matter how much we all talk about it, no matter how much we all think that certain things are more important than this, more important than that, offensive line, defense, quarterback is fucking king, man, period. It doesn't matter how much we try and drive any other nail into the fucking ground, or how much we try and do all this other shit. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest, and he's so good. So it really doesn't matter all these other revolving parts around him. Listen, Tom Brady made Rashae Caldwell an all-pro wide receiver. Okay. Tom Brady made Jabari Gaffney an all-pro wide. He made Aaron Dobbins had a fucking 3-week span. All right. Listen, it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter. It's Patrick Mahomes. And the other point, which leads right into it, is the only team that's going to challenge them is the Chargers, because I think
they're going to come second.
They also possibly have maybe a top 3. Justin Herbert is unbelievable. I don't know if you guys, I've seen it since.
Unbelievable.
He's so good, man.
Unbelievable. It's almost as if you have a talent for hyperbole there. Unbelievable.
He's really good.
I know, but we're throwing around we're throwing around superlative.
No, because if you look at the things he does, so unbelievable actually is. It's not
I think that they're young and they're talented, and I think they're going to come second in that division. But like Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable.
But I honestly think Herbert has that kind of talent. He does, because if you look at the throw he made, I forget what game it was, but I've never seen a ball thrown farther in my life and more accurate. I think it was against the Raiders. I don't, but he threw. Anyways, Justin Herbert is an unreal talent.
Really good. I think he's really good.
And they made some great moves this offseason. So, and Khalil Mack, if anyone is for what was it, DK? What round pick? I know you know.
We had to get him off the books. What do you want to do?
If anyone's
a rebuild is a rebuild,
If anyone's challenging them, it's the Chargers. Period.
I just got sad again.
I know. I know I did that to you. I know.
Now that we're all sad, if you were keeping track of who our division winners are, thank you. We're glad that you did, because we did not. But that was our first rundown of
don't hold me to any opinion I said on this.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Fuck that. I'm doing the Steelers thing all season again. Get ready.
I can't wait.
So, looking at this show, this is the first NFL show of the 2022 season. We have a lot more to come, and make sure you go listen to the shows that are down in the show notes that we referenced during this show. But listen to this one first, and if you got to this point, you've already listened to it. So thank you for joining us here on Missing the Point MTP. He's the real BK, Bob Kelly. He's DK Sizzle, Dave Clarke, who has one more thing to say.
Sorry, I just wanted to jump in and say, I know that the summer is tough for sports, and I really appreciate everybody still listening, especially if you've made it this far in this episode. But definitely keep your ears tuned to Missing the Point, because we might have some really exciting announcements coming up. So stay tuned. I know the summer's a bit of a drought, but I promise we'll make it fun for you. So just keep listening. We got some cool things in the pipeline.
We always have stuff to talk about and always have games to play. We will continue playing them. For Bob Kelly, Dave Clarke, I'm Joe Malkin. We will talk to you next time.
Step inside the marketing mirror to uncover marketing secrets, discover gems, tactics, lessons, and campaigns you can use, next gen or fundamentals. Grab the marketing magic to improve your marketing and win more business.
Electricast. Electricast.
Welcome to Tuning Into Sound Wellbeing, where we harmonise your mind, body and soul. I'm Amanda, your sound therapy expert.
And I'm Stephen, the curious explorer uncovering the mysteries of sound.
Together we explore vibrations, frequencies and the power of sound therapy and tuning forks.
Discover ancient wisdom, reduce stress and tune into a healthier life. Subscribe to Tuning Into Sound Wellbeing today.
Electricast.